The warmest of greetings to you, and welcome to Happily Ever Teaching. This is the podcast to help you enthrall your learners in every subject under the sun using the best teaching method known to science, storytelling. To do this, we feature special guest educators who are passionately keen to empower your children. I am storyteller Chip Cahoon, and with me today is...
Hi, I'm Bex, and I've got experience teaching across the primary school age ranges, and I also have the privilege of training the next generation of teachers as well.
Hi, I'm Rob. I am a Key Stage 2 teacher, and I've also worked across the ranges in Milton Keynes.
And today we are seeing what we can make in design and technology with an interstellar folktale from Mexico. You can listen to the story by downloading our sister podcast, Fables and Fairy Tales, or search our website, epictales.co.uk, for Fit for the Moon. There you'll find a video of me telling the story that you can share with your children. And if you're an Epic educator, as of the 30th of September 2022, you'll also get the story as a paperback, stunningly illustrated by Corky Paul's protege, Mario Coelho, in time for you to use for World Space Week 2022. Don't worry if you missed that though, as you can order the book from any bookshop, including Amazon, and Epic educators can access the ebook and full audiobook through the Epic Tales app. In fact, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank everyone who's signed up to be an Epic educator so far, because by doing so, you are also supporting this podcast, so we can keep sharing these off-the-shelf lesson ideas every single week. So thanks very much, folks. Right now, though, let's continue our discussion with Bex and Rob and get crafting a little bit more with the design and technology. How is the design and technology different from the art? Bex, what are you making for ages 4 to 7?
Well, we are going to be designing and making a dress for the moon in early years, year 1 and year 2. So we're going to be thinking about all of the different things on Earth that we could use to make a perfect dress for the moon. And we're going to be planning it out. So we're going to be going down the textile route. And we're going to be doing a little bit of sewing. So we're going to be learning some different stitches that we could use to
nice.
hold the things together as well, which I'm sure that every early years, year 1 and year 2 teacher, when you say the word sewing, just thinks no. But actually, it's a really, really good for their fine motor skills, and it can be really fun and can be really calming. Their first job's going to be to choose something on Earth that they could use to design the perfect dress for the moon. They're going to design it on paper, then they're going to decide the kind of equipment that they need and the materials they need to make it. They're then going to make it, and then we're going to have like a little bit of a fashion show at the end where they're going to show their dresses and their products and then they're going to review them. So obviously that could be like just giving them some compliments in early years and all the way up to year 2, where you could give them like I really like this, have you thought about this? And then the year 2 children could maybe go back and make some changes to their outfit based on feedback from the other children or teachers. So that's what we're going to be doing. The challenge is you have got an afternoon, or maybe over a couple of afternoons in your week, design, make and evaluate the perfect dress for the moon, but you can only use objects that are similar to things on Earth.
Well, I have a feeling this is going to be a very short episode because that's not too dissimilar to some of the ideas you were going to bring for ages 7 to 11, is it, Rob?
It is very, very similar. However, to show some differentiation for higher up the school, I thought you could also look at the packaging and the advertising that you create for the item of clothing you wear. I think for the older children as well, you could say it's not just a dress. You might have to create a T-shirt or a scarf.
Or give them the same choice that the sun has, where he gets to choose the item of clothing that the moon might like to wear. Yeah. So
I think it would probably more be about the design for the older ones. You would have a go at making it as well, but to create something in your classroom out of diamond or sea mist is going to be trickier.
Materials similar to diamond.
Yes.
Like glitter. I was thinking glitter. Not too much glitter though, because of our oceans. Not too much glitter.
Yeah, so having a think about what the packaging would look like, what would the box look like, so creating the box, the design of it, how are you going to make sure that it's aesthetically pleasing to a moon of all different sizes, not just one size. So linking back to the PSHE that we were talking about last week, it's got to be not a one size fits all, but you've got to have it so that it's
a particular...
Yeah. It's very, very similar to what Bex was saying.
In fact, thinking about the different sizes, as you mentioned, and also thinking about, Bex, your idea for some sort of interstellar catwalk, some interstellar cat orbit, I don't know. I want to just throw in an idea that Abby had. Abby, another contributor to this podcast on previous episodes from Festival Bridge. So she's the arts coordinator there. And she had a look at this story, and she also came up with this TT idea pretty much, but she added the idea of getting some polystyrene balls from Amazon to actually give you some moons, for some objects to use as the moon for your children to craft their items of clothing around. And that way they have a very definite size and they have an actual model for their clothing. But I'm thinking about that. You could then actually bring the story alive by pausing the story at the point where the sun has to create the dress for the moon, get the measurements of one of these polystyrene balls, maybe the largest of the polystyrene balls, sending your children off on this DT challenge. And when it comes to the moment where the moon has to try it on, pull out a different size ball, or pull out a ball that's been chipped away so that it's a half moon shape or the crescent moon shape, and let them see that their brief has actually changed and they've got to go and do it again.
I like that.
That would definitely test their perseverance.
Yeah, test their perseverance, see if they could last as long as the sun did.
And you could even use it as a whole school project, couldn't you? Because if the younger age groups made the items, then they passed it on to their pair class further up the school who did the packaging and the marketing and the alterations the advertising for Sun. Choose our product because it can be made smaller or bigger, whatever you need, we can sort it out for you. So then they can work across the school. So it kind of takes all of those ideas and makes it into a whole school day. I think the children would really love it, particularly that idea of, oh, sorry,
yeah,
got our measurements wrong.
So make sure you got elastic in.
Yes.
Yeah, elastic. And you also made me think of those old roller skates that you used to get that you could change to fit any shoe size.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have made for a much more interesting end to the story, wouldn't it? That's all we have time for in this episode, folks. If you'd like to talk to us about anything you've heard in this podcast, or if there's a subject you are soon to teach that you'd like us to cover, you can find us on social media using @TeachHappily, or leave us a review using your favourite podcast app. Please also share this podcast with your colleagues and help us start a story-led revolution in classrooms around the world, so children everywhere can learn in a way that's effective, memorable, and enjoyable all at the same time. Tomorrow, the sun and the moon will help us make some music. But right now, it only remains for us to say cheerio, and we hope to hear your story soon. So, cheerio! And we hope to hear your story soon.